Hi, this is Tony Mitra, the same old guy, and today is the 9th of June, year 2020, and outside it's in the morning and it's damp and cold and raining and wet and not a good time to be out in the garden working, which I wanted to do. So here I am, vegetating indoor, and decided to talk into a camera. And I have a few points on my notebook. Uh, We are going through an unprecedentedly challenging time, unprecedented, unimaginable in even a year ago or even 6 months ago. And what I'm convinced is our freedom is being taken away globally, country by country, for giving control over to a handful of unelected entities. Most of them, as far as I'm concerned, here in Canada are not Canadian, and it is for them to enormously enrich and empower themselves, enormously and enormously impoverish us, the people, and take our rights away. That is the main goal of all this is happening. It is almost Frankensteinian. It's almost unbelievable. Some people say 1984, Orwellian times, but it's even worse than whatever the writer could imagine in the book 1984. So what to do has become a major point of discussion or contemplation. What to do? I cannot not protest. I'm 70 years old, by the way. Some people say I don't look 70. Whatever. Believe me, I'm going to be 70 in another 2 months. And yeah, I'm a Leo. I have most of my life behind me. I could simply just sit down and relax and make some paintings and take some pictures of birds and have goody talks with friends and let the time pass, and whatever happens happens. It's for the young generation to worry about. I don't have to worry about all this. But I can't just not do it. I'm still able. I still have something up here between my ears. It's called a brain, and I cannot not protest. But the frustration comes from the fact that in spite of this blatant effort to take away everybody's freedom, the people are still buying this cockamamie story that it is the virus and we have to be so afraid we should go inside that bloody box and shut the door and stay inside for another 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, I don't know. And till somebody has a vaccine for it. Vaccine? I mean, the science of the vaccine is so one-sided. It has been so... Anybody who questions the science has been so hounded out of the academia. It is not even funny anymore. And if you if you make a video about the problems of vaccine or this COVID-19 shit, it gets pulled down by YouTube and Vimeo and so on. Sons of bitches. So it has become a serious problem of figuring out what to do. Majority, 99.99% of the freaking population don't even get it. And they're going out, thousands, tens of thousands protesting what happened to Mr. Floyd or Black Lives Matter. Bloody hell, all lives matter here. Everybody in Canada is going to lose his freedom, not just black or white or First Nation or, the East Indian or West Indian or whatever crap. Everybody is losing his freedom, and these freaking idiots are going out in the street and talking about Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Which life does not matter? I would like to ask them. Is there any life that does not matter? And nobody wants to protest the government taking your rights away. Yes, it is a cabal. Yes, it is a free state, whatever, new world order and all that. But The laws are being passed by our government to take our rights away and hand it over to those guys. It's our government. Remember, the only group of people we are supposed to have any control over are our politicians and is our government. Only our government is what we can have any control over. We don't have a control on how the police should behave in Minneapolis. We don't have any control over what World Health Organization does or how much fund it takes or does not take from Bill Gates. We don't have any control over what Bill Gates thinks about population control. We only have control, we only supposed to have control over our government, and that's it. That government is supposed to be elected by us to be working for us. These politicians are betraying us. The public servant, the servant that you and I employed to work for us, is betraying us. Your servant is betraying you. This is the crux of the matter, and you are busy going thousands and thousands out in the street protesting for something over which you have no freaking control, and this is not as important as you losing your goddamn freedom, your prosperity, your way of life, and your future. So, yeah, I know I'm frustrated, and because I'm vegetating inside, can't go out. I'm 70-year-old, cranky old man. I have a few pointers here. Unifythepeople.ca is a group that I've gotten interested with when I heard Darcy Baldwin talk about it, and also Darlene and Jesse James. I think his real name is Dallas or something, but he is also known as Jesse James. So anyway, when I met them, I got interested, and this group proposes to convert each province of Canada into independent republics that will be somewhat joined together in an alliance, somewhat like what United States used to be when it was first founded, something like that. And a specific constitution for each province is being written. What is interesting about this concept is that you don't need to fight somebody politically. If enough number of people signs the signs into that constitution, and it gets ratified, it becomes the law of the land automatically. So the people simply tell the politicians, "You're out of job. You have no right to govern us. We have made a new constitution, and this is going to be how we govern. We govern ourselves, or we set up a system that governs us." And then each of them are writing this so-called constitution. It needs support, public support, of course. If only 1,000 people sign it and 5 million other people in British Columbia do not, then of course it doesn't work. So there is a need to popularize it. Why? Because then the power goes into a constitutionally created governing system where the power remains in the hand of the people, which was the original idea even in the US, and now it's perhaps not so anymore. So this is one thing that is worth pursuing, I think, and because of this protests happening everywhere about this COVID-19 lockdown, this nonsensical lockdown, absolutely criminal lockdown, because of this protest, these guys are also coming and talking, and we are able to hear, and I think we need to join hands. So that's the first item. Next, I have been attending in Vancouver as well as in Surrey. I lately distanced myself from Vancouver a bit because I like to protest the government taking my right away. I don't like to be sidetracked with important but issues that sidetrack me. So therefore, if you're not protesting, if the protest against the government is not the main goal, and try to expose your protest to the common man so that some other people who will be influenced and slowly move over to join the protest, if that is not the goal and something else is the goal, I find it hard to justify going all the way to Vancouver to join it. So because of that, I have created a distance for now. We shall see how it goes. If it picks up steam in a manner that that gels with me, where I can contribute equally and passionately. I am very passionate about Canadian freedom and rights. So then I will join them again. And I'm not sure who actually leads the arrangement. It's a little confusing for me. So anyway, so that is Vancouver. And then there is another group, Celebration of Freedoms and Rights, co-founded by Ryan Kulbaba, and that's happening in Surrey. And I like it. They don't march across the street, but they stand in one place and protest and shout at passing vehicles. And there are some people walking around, not too many, but hopefully the passing vehicles passes the message around. And all things considered, it's not so bad. And I like it. I like the venue, and there is a lot of grass by the side of the road. People can bring a chair and sit down and all that. I made a couple of videos of the last few events. So that is where my energy is going, and I'm also meeting more people. And from there, things are also kind of moving along. So the next is a group called Glorious and Free. I was invited into it by somebody from Ontario, and Jennifer White, and I joined them, and they are led by Sylvain Henry, French Canadian, and he is starting a physical letter writing campaign against Justin Trudeau, and also to various other leaders of the opposition party. Physical letters, postage is free, so it doesn't cost you anything. You need to have a piece of paper where the letter is written, handwritten or typed or what, and then an envelope where you put it in and write the address of the Prime Minister's office, and then drop it off at Canada Post. It's free of charge. Why this way and not email is apparently physical letters are recorded and somebody makes a ledger entry and all that, and they get affected if too many protest letters come. And the idea is to bombard him around 1st of July. So in his address, he mentions that there is so many letters being received or something, and it affects, or so it is believed that it affects the government if they begin to see such a huge amount of protest letters. So I am going to join. I have written many letters to politicians, including about this COVID-19 nonsense, and I will write again. And I will also join in his effort, because my letters are my own composition. But those who do not feel comfortable composing a letter, they can go to his site in Facebook. There is a group called Glorious and Free, and take down the sample letter and just put your name on it and print it and have it mailed. So that's a good idea, and I'm joining up with them. I'm also trying to see how we can, various groups from all over can join hands. So I have invited some of the British Columbian friends that I had onto that group and so on. And then there is this thing about physical presence on 1st of July. And there are two events that I know is brewing. One of them is in Ottawa, and there's a plan to make a massive rally there in protest against whatever is going on. But it's not yet massive. There's only a few hundred or maybe 1,000 people will go, and that's not a very big number. But from all over Canada, there's an effort to get people to go there, and it's promoted by a group called Grizzly Patriots. I didn't know anything about them, but I came to know about this group recently through a friend in BC who actually joins us on the protests in Surrey. So, and there is a plan for kind of ride share, or many people share a vehicle and share the cost of the gasoline and also share the driving, so that the cost is less and you enjoy the time. It takes several days to reach Ottawa. It's very, very far away. But that's an idea. And then you take several days more driving back. And this is one plan. I don't know whether it's practical or whether I can afford it, or it means the time and the cost and everything, whether it's worthwhile to go all the way for a smaller gathering and so on. Anyway, so this is one. If many people go, if thousands grow from here, I would probably join them, and go. But if only 20 people are going, I don't know. And then there is this event planned at Victoria in front of the Parliament, also similar big crowd. And that's another good idea. For me, I can take a ferry in the morning and even come back without even staying at night, or we can stay over at night somewhere. I don't know which motels or hotels are open or not open, no idea. So those things are considered, but it's possible to go and come back. Now here also there are some few glitches that I need clarification. One of them is what exactly is going to be planned at in Victoria on that field in front of the Parliament building. What exactly is going to happen there? I'm not one of the organizers, so I don't know the details. I'm trying to find out by asking guys who are or girls who are involved. Is there going to be a protest? If protest is going to be the main theme, or is going to be a side issue, while the gathering is only to sell personal products and like a carnival or something, and you sell stuff and make some money and feel good and all that, but otherwise has no teeth. If that is the thing, then I'll be pissed off and I would not like to join it. I don't like to get diverted from the issue of desperately needing to do something to make our British Columbia government step back from taking our rights away and tell Ottawa to, get lost. Or I'm focused on telling Ottawa to bloody change its behavior. I'm not too keen to join an effort where main theme 90% of it is somewhere else and a little bit of protest against Ottawa or against the BC government just to keep us quiet and all. I'm not interested to join such groups. So there is problems. What to do physically, I don't know yet. If none of them turn out to be attractive, probably I'll not do anything, or maybe we can think of doing something ourselves. This is the reason I'm making this video, that we are in extraordinarily difficult times because there is no mass appeal. The majority of the people are just vegetating. They've got a bloody cabbage inside their skull. They can't see their rights are being lost, taken away. And they still go ahead believing this is so, oh, don't come closer than 6 meters. Oh, how can you go around? You're nuts or what? Don't you know we are flattening the bloody curve and all that nonsense? So that's going on. I made a small group just out of frustration to try to discuss what to do, how to move ahead. I made a small WhatsApp group and we are going to meet, once a week or 2-3 times a month, and discuss how to move forward, what to do, and all that. I asked a few people that I came to know this time around in the protests of against this lockdown, and these are all new friends. They are not old friends. In fact, I almost have no old friend that supports me. Almost none. There are some who do, but they're either living far away or they are in a different situation. They cannot join the protest and so on. So I have literally 0 old friends who are with me. I'm all alone here. But I made a lot of good friends, new friends. They're all young. Some of them are a generation or 2 young. I mean, one of the women there, she said that I'm older by 4 years than her father. Can you believe it? I'm older by 4 years than her father, but she is a spirited one. She is an activist. I love people like this. Those who have a thinking brain, they want to do something to preserve their democracy. I absolutely love them. Even if I'm 70 years, what the hell, I'd rather. So anyway, these are the new friends that we are trying to discuss how to move forward. I don't like fence-sitting pontificators who give big talk and sit on the fence. There is room for that kind of person in certain situations, But not now. This is not the situation. I like people who want to do something. Do something, not just talk about it. So, and I don't mean armed revolt. I am a non-violent person. I never owned a gun. But I know through my activism that you don't need a gun. If you are sincere and energetic and stubborn, and if you don't give up, things happen. Things do happen in democratic systems, even if they are bad democracies, even if they are democracies that are slowly moving away from democracy. Even then, activism has a very great value. According to me, every citizen in a democratic society needs to be an activist. There is no room for complacency because politicians will abuse power if you allow. They will. It is the nature of things. So it is your job that you keep a strict eye on the temporary servant you have employed to work for you. So this is my day's rant. I don't know how good it is or how bad it is, but anyhow, I cannot not just talk about what I feel. I can tell you one thing. I have no personal interest. I am not doing all this to make money. No. I'm doing all this firstly to save Canada from internal subversion, and secondly because I am a human being. I cannot not do it. That's it. See you again next time. Ciao.